It was all just for a smoke screen. Why? Because power is being transferred. Remember what I said earlier. But this type of power is more power. So the more damage that you see in front of you, I feel like, the more power is being, the less damage. So the damage equals out the power that's being transferred. Just fill that out. You feel me? So yeah, I get where I'm coming from. Shit, sometimes I don't gotta go study. Shit just makes sense to me. The damage that comes out is the energy that is being taken. Same amount. Same even exchange, right? Okay, so we're going to sit here and give them the rights to go build space weapons, defense space weapons, right? To protect us from whatever that's coming after the fact, right? Or before the fact. They might warn us that something is on the way, right? But, and they already did. I don't know if y'all know about it, but they already did. But, again, they attack us. We're looking for a solution. They got it. Sometimes I would just say they already had the answer, right? They already had the solution. They created the problem, right? After the fact, my bad. They created the problem after the fact. They already had the solution. They just needed us to want that solution. So they figured out a way to do that. So we tell them to save us. They go out there and they save the day, right? Boom. We give them power to create a space fleet now. I know we got Space Force already. I know they already exist. But I'm talking about like giving them extra power to where there's no more hiding the black budget. You understand? Because how the fuck do we have a space fleet? A space, what? How would you call that? How do we have a space military branch? You feel me? Division. What the does that mean? Think about it, man. Think about that. What the fuck does that mean? That means that there's ships out there. They fighting a war like they getting ready. You think that we not building ships to? Yeah. So what I'm trying to say right now is the fact that, yo, the reason why they go to the private for money is because, or private corporations, is because the private corporations do not have to release any information to the public about anything that they do. So if the military is like, yo, we need a space fleet and we're going to get this trillions of dollars from however they do it, which we already know about that type of stuff that they do, right? How they steal the money from the public. So we ain't going to go into that today. But they take that money and it goes into what we call black budget. And that black budget is building stuff that we don't even know, bro. For example, I can tell you right now, and I'm going to get back to this, but this is a little simple, which is very scary. So think about this for a second, guys and ladies, and however you want to call yourselves, right? I'm not even go there. I don't want to get canceled. But, the military does something like this. We need... Oh, and let me just say this real quick. This is another side note to this side note. But this is shorter, right? Just in case y'all don't know... Y'all know that China don't have to do an EMP to shut us off, right? You don't have to do that, right? We ain't gotta worry about that. You know what they could do? They can send people like, yo, let's just turn the light switch off. Just turn their power off. Just turn it off. You know how? Because it's the same thing that we have in front of the house. Everything, damn near 98% of the things that we have in our possession is made out of China. Okay? That's what I'm saying. So, think about that. just as consumers, 98 or 90. Let me be generous. 85%. Okay, I'll give you that. 85% of the stuff comes from China. Everything else comes from everywhere else. Right? But think about this. Do y'all even know that the generators that power cities, these generators come from China? And all these generators come from China, okay? Or every one of them come from China. That power this whole United States, I believe, except for Texas. I think Texas had their own generator, I believe. But every other state, these generators come from China. Right? Who's to say that they didn't put no spy device in there to shut it off? Come on, think about this, guys and ladies. And well, let me just start saying everybody. Think about this, everybody. They can simply just turn the light off. That's just me saying, right? Okay, so why are we worrying about that? That's just a side note. Go do the research, okay? Do the research if you want. Where does the generators in the United States come from? China. China owns it, bruh. Talking about debt. We owe them trillions of dollars of debt. China does owe a certain amount of debt. But don't you understand that we owe the private a certain amount of debt? Do that research. The private own more. We owe the private more debt than we owe China. Do the research. But, they just want to talk about how China and blah, blah, blah. We owe debt to everybody. There's a couple of people. We don't talk about them much. For some weird reason, we want to focus on China. Whatever. Now, back to what I was saying. Now, now I'm losing train of thought. What was I talking about? Give me a second.